Hey, what's up, fam? Now we have the translated version of the Fairy Tail chapter for the 18th of the 100 Years quest. I will put the link in the description of it if you would like to check it out. And if you haven't, I hope you tell me in the comments after hearing my review of what exactly your take on it was. Essentially, it was very much an action-packed chapter, but there were some smaller bits that really stood out a lot. So, for instance, recently I was talking to somebody on Twitter about how it, they didn't believe that Natsu had a lot of depth to his character. He had no character development. There wasn't really much anything to him. But this was a chapter that really disproves a lot of that when you take into account something like the events that have been transpiring since he met the water dragon god, and then kind of reflecting back onto when he first had his encounter with Jalal leading up to the Horacion Sace arc, and how he didn't really want to even have a rational conversation with him. He immediately just wanted to fight him like on sight every single time like his name was on Natsu's tongue. He just wanted to go into complete rage mode and fight him. And then later he kind of learned a little bit of redemption and forgiveness, and people wanting to better themselves after, reflecting on after the bad things they did. And you saw a little bit of that maturity kind of bring back when he was talking to Acnologia about how dragons are the same as humans in the aspect that there are good ones and bad ones. You can't just kind of classify them all in the same same category. And in this one, where he's thinking back about Mercphobia and how he used to be bad, but he's seen the error of his ways. He's trying to better himself, and the reason that he's been so emotionally distraught, the reason that he would be fine with them killing him, is that he doesn't want to endanger people around him anymore. He doesn't want to hurt the people of Elmina. He doesn't want to hurt the people that that worship him, that look to him for safety. And it's a really good aspect for to be shown for Natsu. Just that battle of morals of whether or not he's got to do this. Is it going to go against like his whole belief uh, of of killing? And he's because we already know he's willing to under circumstances from right before the Albrecht war started. How he knew that there are cases where it's either you kill your opponent or you risk the ones close to you dying. He definitely matured up around that whole idea, and you can see that kind of rattling around in his head in this chapter, that he doesn't know which one he's really going to have to go for, and it's probably really devastating for him as a character of what exactly he's going to, what decision he's going to have to make, because this is going to live on with him for the rest of his life. And you could tell from looking at him that this wasn't an easy decision, but he was reflecting back after Carla told him how he already said that he would slay any of the dragons. He would kill any of them that hurt any of his friends, and now Mercifovia, out of control, is putting them all in danger. Even after he's trying to, convince them we have to figure out another way, but everyone else has just kind of seemed like it's not really, it doesn't seem plausible, and Natsuki has to, kind of bite the bullet, kind of suck that up, and go about fighting them. And then we got some nice character-wise, like ability progress from Wendy. Now she can give other people the Dragon Sling attribute, which we already know that from how Dragon Slayer magic is from the reveal from Eileen, that it is kind of a further progression of enchantment magic, and she's pretty much been buffing people with Dragon Slayer magic this whole time, but now it's just straight the attribute itself. So now they're going to be able to damage the Mercifovia, at least get past that whole aspect where dragons can't be affected by mana. They have or magic. Their scales dissolve the magic itself, so that other than dragon-based attacks, they can't really do anything. They don't kind of unleash their attacks. Natsu brings in a demolition fist, doesn't do anything. Everyone starts going on attacks, and then Merciful just like, all right, yeah, you guys are annoying me. Dives down the water, comes back up, bringing his entire ocean with him, lifting it up in the skies, and everyone just kind of being in complete and total awe of the raw display of power from a dragon god, and just seeing what exactly they're dealing with. Because something that they never really got to see with Acnologia, based off his personality, is he didn't really want to show his actual strength, his actual capability to people he saw less than him. He didn't see them as, worth the effort. And here, it just kind of just seeing that extensive, like massive amount of power displayed before them is probably really exhausting and really just appalling to see. You haven't really seen as much just pure shock since when they went against Hades back in the Sirius Island arc, which is again, it's just a nice feeling of that complete and utter like being outclassed. Now, I think that if gone all out, Natsu can match one of Mercefovia's attacks, but I don't think he's at the point where he could match him in a one-on-one, unless he somehow has some new ability that he hasn't shown yet. Like maybe he's managed to pull back the END powers and merge it with his dragon powers, or something. Something that it's now going to be displayed because we're still in the first big fight. So there could easily be stuff that we haven't seen yet. Obviously, Wendy showing in this chapter that she's now learned how to give other people the Dragon Slayer attribute for a certain period of time. There's still stuff that we're going to be able to come to see from these characters. And just from the overall chapter itself, after that point, we get back to the guild. It's still raining, where Toka has completely taken down everyone within the guild. And as she said, another in her quotations, black has been purified into white. Obviously, thinking of this dark entity and her kind of religious philosophy of returning everything into like this void of nothing. Now, it's definitely a really weird event to kind of go down over at the guild when everyone else is gone. It's not like they're out and they're coming back. They could walk in this in a minute. They're on a different continent. So there isn't. I don't know who really could just show up and do anything about this. It seems like something that's going to happen when they return, or I don't really know. It's because it's definitely at this point Toka is living up to her hype. The fact that she seems to have taken the entire guild by herself without relatively any effort means that there isn't really anybody left in the guild to be able to contend with them. I can't think of anybody that really would be a match for her at this point, especially if she kind of is up to that level with Zareth. I think one of the things that people forget a lot about when they're comparing like how powerful Zareth was is we didn't see a lot of large displays of his power. It was mostly like potency where it was way more compact or just a variation of magic. But something people I think a lot of the time forget about is you have dragon version of Eileen, someone who is obviously much higher level than a normal dragon. We have Acnologi actually complementing her capabilities, where he barely paid any mind to Animus, who was able to hold in all the power of the dragon cry, and Eileen in her human form was able to compress an entire country over 6,000 kilometers wide, is able to draw in meteors from multiple planets distance away, do a lot of crazy things, and that's in her human effort like state. And then her dragon form, 400 years of effort trying to reverse herself into her human state she couldn't do, but Zareth just kind of on sight within about a split second, easily fixed her form and undid the appearance that she had. So it's very obvious that he is, even in his base form, way more powerful than Eileen, even in her dragon state. And just kind of like scaling that over to Toka is obviously pretty devastating because if you look at the Albrecht arc, it wasn't for the fact that Zareth had to see the whole war as a kind of simulation game to cheat the curse. He could have easily just teleported in and took Mavis and left, or stopped time, walked in, came in and just used his death magic, killed everyone, and then took it and left. There were things that were his solution to his problems that, though, in ways led to him not completing, I mean, his direct goals, kind of in a indirect way he won, but Toka is definitely a devastating force that we're really looking at, because right now the magic number 7 in Fairy Tail, we have 7 real big opponents right now. We have Toka and Liberaris, her white magic cult. We have the Dragon Eaters Guild, Diablos, and we have each of the dragon gods. So obviously the 5 of them plus the 2 of them, 7. It's leading up to a pretty big event, I think, that could open up a lot of different areas within the series. And I'm just very curious where this is going to go because I didn't think this would happen so fast. I thought this was going to be a setup and then we'd see Toka take action way later, and it was just going to be that kind of build up for it. But we're only 18 chapters in, and she's already directly taken down the guild, and I'm guessing reduced all their magic down or done something to them to put them in this state. We'll figure that out soon. But anyway, like I said, it was a really good chapter. We got some nice action, but a nice build up. We had some nice, really nice character growth for Natsu, and really just kind of displaying it out again and showing that he himself has matured a lot over the years and he as a character has developed in a lot of great ways. Especially, if you go back and just watch the first few episodes or read the first few chapters, how immature he was and how he didn't really. There's no way he would have thought twice about this situation. He just would have went in and be like, "Well, I'm going to take the guy down, regardless if he physically could or not." But anyway, that's it for this chapter. Tell me in the comments what you think about this. I thought it was a really good chapter, really nice start to this fight, and a really nice display of a dragon god as well. And I look forward to the next one. Like I always said, the 2 week wait is gonna be brutal. But other than that, if I can get you to, I'd like you to befriend the thumbs up button, please. I really appreciate the like on the video and subscribe for more. Check out my other videos. But other than that, thank you everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.